Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Gallagher.
I am also Mark Gallagher, and I thought I'd open up today with sort of a silly little COVID food joke, although there's nothing funny about COVID at all, but it's about a lady who said her husband bought her a world map and gave her a dot. And he said, wherever you throw that dot, it lands. That's where I'm going to take you when this whole episode is over. She said, unfortunately, we are now going to be spending our next vacation behind the fridge.
Yeah, it's probably where I'd be most comfortable. So we're going to be talking today about entertaining and having small gatherings during COVID.
I think it's something that people do. Almost everybody. I live alone, and a lot of my friends are the same way at our age. And it's a question you still want to have the socialization. So I have a group of two who come here every other Wednesday. I cook, they bring wine, and we're very careful about how we approach it when they come in. There's no shaking hands or anything. I just stay where I am. They come in and they know where they are. Normally we would go in the back of the apartment to a formal room for, have hors d'oeuvres and cocktails. But now they just come in and sit right down in the appointed seats, which is both two of us at a table separated, and the third one off to the side on a tray table.
So you're doing the social distancing.
Yeah, right off the bat. And so we keep the masks on until everybody's down. And then when I serve, I keep the mask on. Again, it's different to those who have more concern than I do. The food part of it is, again, I have a plate ready, which usually consists of maybe a couple of shrimp, some cheese, some crackers, some grapes, and maybe a little hot out there. But I put that on each plate. Person gets a plate of that put in front of them, so they get sort of an hors d'oeuvre first course all at once. Nothing has to be passed. Nobody has to get up. They can stay where they are. And then the main course I have set on a plate, usually cold items that I'm going to add one hot thing to, which could be a risotto or it could be any other kind of a main course that you'd have ready to go, but a very simple, add that in and boom, plunk it right down. I'm the only one who does the serving, so you don't have a lot of people touching a lot of things. And on the wine, whatever it is, they bring the wine and we pour that. We're just careful doing that. The same person uses the same bottle, so there's only one set of prints on it. And that has worked out very well. Another one we had last week was it was a warm day, and it was like one of the last patio days. So there are 5 people outside. They were again, social chairs were set apart. And the woman running it had a bag full of snack type things, sesame sticks and nuts. And she had a little cup in the bag, and she would dole out a cup she gave everybody else little individual cups. And she doled out each of those into the individual cups. So each one had their own little cup. Mm-hmm. And she also had a bowl of snack packs on it, which was pretzels, cheeses, nuts.
Okay.
The kids for the pack for the kids' lunch. Then that was over. We all ordered from a local place that I use, and we all wanted seafood. So everybody ordered their own dinner, what they wanted to their own specifications. I had fried haddock. Another gal had broiled haddock with lemon butter. The other 3 all wanted clam rolls, which they got 2 with French fries and 1 with onion rings. And dinners arrived. We went inside and socially spaced. Bag guy arrives, the bag comes in, you dole out the dinners, everybody sits and eats them. And when you're through, you either take it home with you or dispose of it. There's no place, there's no getting up, there's no running around. It turned out a very nice way to actually have a meal and do it. As far as paying for it, if you order from a brochure, you know what each one costs, so you can add 10%, which would include a tax and a tip to the to the guy who drops it off. Then she had the dessert was a prepackaged little sweet bar with chocolate chips and nuts and whatever else in it. Then you got to opt to eat it there, or you can take it home with you. So both those things were a little bit of ways. And next time I'm going to talk about foods that are preparations, both sort of French type things. One is on papiolette, which means in parchment paper or tinfoil. The other is en chemise, which could be things wrapped up in pastries, which pastry dough, like a calzone or meat tart or whatever. And I'll explain all the different fillings and things, because those are great things, not even without the COVID, because for entertaining. especially with the parchment stuff. So I'll go over that next time.
Fantastic. So when I was growing up, my cousin had a vegetarian girlfriend, and Dad was always really sensitive and cognizant of that, and would make sure that there are always vegetarian dishes included. But sometimes you're going to have somebody at your house during quarantine or not who doesn't drink. And some folks are happy with their seltzer water or Coca-Cola. But if you want to do something special, non-alcoholic cocktails are a great way to go. And you think about creating these cocktails the same way you think about creating an alcoholic cocktail, and also the same way you think about red wine or white wine. You're thinking about balancing acidity and sweetness. Classic combination that I discovered a long time ago was lime and orange juice are great together. And lime in general is great for non-alcoholic cocktails. It goes pretty much everything and gives you that good bright acidity that makes it feel like a cocktail rather than, a drink for kids. And you're thinking about all the same notes. You're thinking about, if you want to add some spritz. One thing I love to use is Topo Chico. This is a Mexican sparkling water. A friend from Austin, Texas, first got us into it. And so that's great, but you can use artisanal sodas to add some spritz. Another thing you can definitely do to add some sexiness is muddling fruit. And really the biggest piece, once you have a nice flavor balance, is serving it in an elegant way, using a coupe or a wine glass, doing a nice garnish. Rosemary sprigs are great, especially for this season. So basically, as Dad was saying, when you're entertaining, the biggest piece of the puzzle is making your guests feel comfortable. We all have different levels of precaution around COVID. Some of us drink, some of us don't. Some of us eat meat, and some of us don't. So,
something you might do, Marky, not to interrupt, just to explain a little bit of what muddling is.
Good point. All it is taking, in this case, you'd be wanting to use fruits like blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, and you could definitely take, something like, an artisanal soda or Topo Chico or seltzer water, and then you're just mashing it together, so you're extracting the flavor of the fruits. So I think that is it for us for this week. Thank you, Dad. We'll be looking forward to En Papillote and En Chemise for next week, and we'll talk to you all soon. And remember to subscribe.
Thank you.
And thank you.